I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I need a motion to approve the agenda for today. Need a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes of our previous meeting. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, public comment period. Ms. Klein, has anybody signed up?
We do. We have one person,
Okay,
Sasha Wani.
okay. Where is she? Okay, Miss Waddy, we usually allow 3 minutes for you to tell us, and we listen.
Good morning, thanks all for your time today. And I'm here today to speak as a concerned parent and also a concerned community member. I want to touch base on a few facts about the race, about the Roberts Life for homecoming changes. And they're actually been voiced on our student body. And I've reached out to a lot of people. And what I've heard over the past few months is this is what the students want and this is what the families want, when it's actually not. I was actually told yesterday at football practice we should have started with adhesion. The reason we did not start with adhesion was back in April when this was first presented on. That presentation was 5 minutes and 21 seconds. I've listened to it multiple times. And when it was presented, it was ideas. It was not nothing set in stone. It was just, these are ideas for the future. And that's all I heard. And so at that time, nobody really noted it. We all think it was a grain of salt. And everyone kept saying it will not change. Well, 2 weeks ago, I actually seen the guidelines and the new rules. I was shocked. So that's when I decided I was ready to start reaching out to people. So I reached out to multiple community members, student body, even the student council. Student council said that they were presented with these changes even last year, and they were not in favor of those changes. I understand the biggest change is the financial burdens, and I think that this whole town, we can all agree that one of the most well-known things this town is known for is our homecoming, the ball gowns. Everyone looks, it's beautiful. The little girls look up, they're so excited. The parade has gotten a little out of hand, I will agree. The floats, that can be financially, expensive. But I think that changing this and making these type of changes 6 weeks before the event is kind of, that's really ridiculous. These girls, they can only be on this 1 year. They wait their senior year to do this, and then the seniors this year are called for the first time. I spoke with one little lady, I think she was 74 years old. She was Miss Black Knight. And you know what she talked out? She talked out a picture of her in a ball gown. And so this has been going on for, people can't even tell me how many years it's went on. And so this year the new rules are no ball gowns, no boots, has to be in A-line, mermaid shaped dress. I think they're going to be shocked if people are going to be upset about this change. And I don't think a lot of people know that this is really happening because, when I told people these are the guidelines, these are the rules, people were like, no, that's, if I even been voted on, I reached out to a few school board members, they said it's presented, but, that was it. We really didn't know that this was coming to fruition this year. And as a mom of a senior, my daughter was so hesitant. She said, please don't go. There's going to be so much repercussion on her health. And I was like, somebody has to speak up. And then another thing is, I spoke with, there was 12 actual school employees. They wanted to be here, but they're not here because of the repercussion, because, they felt like they would be frowned upon because they were speaking out. But I can assure you, how many girls in the past have been elected on homecoming and have not had that dress? One lady said she had personally sponsored 10 dresses the love and the support of this community, you know good and well, if that child needs assistance, they're going to receive it. And I just, I think maybe if things do need to be toned down, take steps. Don't do it all at once. I mean, maybe first start out with the parade floats. Go back to a car or a Jeep or truck, those big, floats. I love the floats. I mean, the parade was exciting. The whole community, it's something that the community looks forward to every year. And these changes, it's very clear that it came from just a select few higher up people that, had the idea and they just went with it. Without getting.
Ms. White, I appreciate you coming, and we understand where you're coming from.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. I'll let you go on a little bit longer, but I don't have to stop this.
Yeah.
But I appreciate you coming, and we'll take this into consideration. Okay? Thank you. Is that it, Ms. Klein?
Yes.
Do I have a motion to close public comment period?
Make a motion.
Second, do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, now, Mr. Matheson, since Mr. Henning made it on time, approval of real property transfer with joint meeting with the county commissioners and facilities update.
If there's any highway patrol looking around, I'll.
So, we've got a very exciting announcement this morning. Board of Commissioners, we've got them here with us today. I'd like to go ahead and call their meeting, into session. We'll let them do that.
So we'll call this session board meeting for August 6, 2021 to order. We'll have a motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
And would you like to do that? Sure.
So, a few weeks ago, the county commissioners and the school board had a joint meeting. During that joint meeting, we worked out the details of a land sale from Grant County Schools to Grant County government. And this land sale is roughly 3.4 acres that consists of the baseball field beside the community building and the lower playground. And the purchase price for this property will be $2 million. $1 million of the purchase price will be earmarked to renovate the whole side of Big Oaks Football Stadium. And this will include making the football stadium meet all ADA standards, which right now it does not. I have already been in contact with the county project manager, Jason Marino. We have contacted LS3P, who has a plan already designed for the Big Oaks Stadium, and we'll be working with them. Our first meeting with architect will be August 14th. The remaining funds of the $2 million will be placed in the Grant County School General Fund and will not be earmarked for capital outlay projects. So it will be money that we can use as needed for expenses. This is a really exciting thing. It finally gives the commissioners the opportunity to have the land set aside for the new Justice Center. And it also gives us some capital that we're going to need to operate on over the next few years, and the renovation of Big Oaks, which is desperately needed. Obviously, right now they're putting up the rental bleachers. This is the third season that we've had them, and it will be the last one. So I'm glad to announce that. So this morning, the commissioners are here to meet with the school board in order to sign the contract for the property acquisition. So I'll turn it over to the lockers.
Feel a little air going to the room.
Put your hands on the wall, that's what it's.
We have talked and traded information and have come up with a contract that is acceptable to both of us. It outlines what we're going to be doing, and that is exactly as you say, $2 million purchase. There will be earmarked for the improvement of Big Oak Field. Whatever portion of that $2 million it takes to get that fixed, and that's something that we'd like to make sure is incorporated by reference into the contract. And so he, John and I agreed that the minutes that you're taking will be part of this contract so that the community knows that that's earmarked for that particular purpose. And so now, what we need to do is have a signature on the contract.
And I think we need to have a formal approval by the school board, if you've not done it yet, but I'm happy to recommend that in the form of contract. We will provide that with the one provision that Jay mentioned about the earmarking in the funds.
Do I have a motion to approve the contract, earmarking funds, the $2 million, earmarking those funds for the football field stadium?
I like a motion.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? And there it is.
Roll, so go to the desk and sign. Roll to the flag.
Maybe right to the photo. Do we all of us sign?
No, just chair board.
So I'll make a motion to accept the contract.
Great. Paul.
So
It's like.
this is the last vacancy from there. This is the other side. We need to have this, counted on by the clerk board.
Who is our counterpart?
For the superintendent is the secretary, the ex officio secretary.
Move.
Yeah.
There.
That's it.
My wife.
That's right, that's what she says.
Photo op, all the board members.
Oh, sorry. All right.
Mr. Moody. Thank you, Mr. Moody.
He's trying out.
Robert Still just wanted to arrive.
That's
Thank you. All right, 1, 2, 3. Good. All right, got it. Thanks.
Real quickly,
I'd like to thank the board for this, commissioners, I think this works too well. Number one, with the budget crunch our schools facing, we reached that last year, we absorbed 10, 12 positions. So this will help us, and I appreciate that, and I hope this helps the taxpayers. That is our main goal, is just kids and taxpayers, and I think both are the winners for this deal, so I appreciate all of our hard work. Now, Lord's love comes. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Both Mr. Cody.
More facility. So I want to talk just for a second about the new Robbinsville Elementary School project. Cope Architecture has completed the schematic drawing on the new school. And they emailed those to us this week, and they've just submitted the DEI for approval. So we're really excited about that. The geotech drilling was done, and the reports from that should be in Cope's hands today, according to Brian Pierce from Cope. And this will open up the door for us to be able to move forward pretty soon with the beginning of the everybody's groundbreaking. That's very exciting for us. And the other thing is we have reached a financial agreement with Hickory Construction to work as the Seymour. They've already been approved as the Seymour by the board. And the financial agreement is as follows. They will receive $300,000 in pre-construction fees and a 4.25% fee on the main construction of the building. And this, we negotiated with them, and through those negotiations, we were able to save about $150,000 from their first proposal. So that's money that can go directly back into the proposal. I have 2 copies of the contract for the Seymour. These will need to be signed by Mr. Moody and Mr. Nelson, and also Ms. Kidd will be signed. Right here, Mr. Nelson. We've approved Mr. Seymour. John said, I would say go ahead and vote to approve the contract. That's not good.
Do I have a motion to approve the contract? Is it
With
with
Hickory Construction.
Hickory Construction? So, do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
What we will do is we'll mail this to Hickory, their signatures, and then they'll mail finalized all the back to us. All the signatures. Okay.
Just it on this.
Yeah. I need to do that. So I'll get that too. Okay. Signs up that. Thank you. And I just wanted to give a few facility updates of things that's happened since the summer that's going on, some of the major projects we've had taking place. One is that we have taken out the wood chips on the lower playground and put in rubber mulch. We did that due to a couple of EC kids that we have that will be transitioning down to that playground now that they need the big rubber mulch bill. We have remodeled room in the elementary school to hold a developmental day classroom for our EC program. It's the first time that we've had a developmental day here at Grant County School. We've remodeled the RHS and RMS library. We've basically cut it in half. And on the new side, we've created an OCS room where they'll be running their OCS businesses out of. We've carpeted 4 rooms at RHS RMS. We've painted all the rooms in the new wing. When the building, the 6th grade wing, when the building was originally built there at the middle school, it had all flat paint. And that is not a good thing with kids. You cannot clean it. So that's one of the things that we have learned when we build the house figure, there will be 0 flat paint over in that building. So we've been repainting all that, and it's done. We're currently reflooring the hall behind the RHS gymnasium, all the tiles being taken out, and it's had an epoxy floor back there. We're putting a new water line in down at the RAS gym. It's been leaking for years, and they're down there working on that today. We installed a shower at the academy. We're currently working on seal coating the RHS parking lot. He's got a little outreach over there. He's working on that. And starting next Monday, the DOT, I talked with Adam Dockery this week. Starting on Monday, they're going to start paving the road. They're actually going to build up the pavement and repave the road through the RHS campus from the bridge on the Sweetwater side out to the intersection of the rest of the building. So they're going to close down the Sweetwater entrance next week. So they'll be paving down there, and that's been done for several years. The metal bleachers again are being installed in here for the last time, and so we're excited about that. And we also have about a $20,000 repair that we're having done to the gym bleachers at the high school, and that's through the water funds we're able to use to do that. So that's the main project we've done. I will tell you, maintenance has been extremely busy this summer. They are down a man compared to what they normally have in the past. They're going to stay at 4, but we've had a couple summer work. They've done a lot of them. They've pressure washed both campuses, and they've not really been able to get up to a lot of the maintenance work orders over the summer. But as soon as the teachers get back, the kids get back, they'll start working through the maintenance work orders. I can't tell you how good a job maintenance does. Last year, for the first time ever, they literally had all their work orders done. So they can stay on top of things, and we're very blessed with the ones that we have. So, any questions about the facility? We're hoping that new school, we can have a groundbreaking sometime first by the end of September, first off. So, we're getting close. Thank you.
Okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. We have had an opportunity to read through this. If there's any questions, that's fine, but if you have no questions, do I have a motion?
I would like to point out that on your consent agenda, it's just slightly differently this time. You have a list of contracts. Normally we list all, subs, hires, volunteers. This particular meeting will also have a list of 1, 2, and 4-year contracts that we will need to approve. And, as you were saying, you can choose to vote on those, or if you want to table that during closed session.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve consent agenda? Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Reports and discussion items, leadership team updates. Do I need to hear any of those?
Package, do y'all have any questions about concerns about anything?
Okay, approval of MOU, with, TCCC. That's Ms. Saul. This is a handout for dummies. It says sign here, sign here, sign here.
So in the past, we've had worked in the room understanding what Tri-County Community College for our College of Career Promise program. And this year, I worked with Tri-County over the summer. They requested that we update this. So I've had several meetings with them over the summer to just make sure everything is the way they would like it to be, we would like it to be. I've highlighted for you on page 2, there are 2, C and D are the 2 new components. Everything else has stayed the same, for what we've had for that they will provide a, CCD coordinator to be on our campus during our registration events. They're also there throughout the year, but, in writing that they're going to commit. We've also agreed that we're gonna have regular meetings in January and August, just to keep things updated and make sure that things are working at the moment the way they need to be. And then also on page 3, part E is a condition, and that is, that we've created a student responsibilities agreement for our students and our parents, so that they understand the Tri-County Community College procedures and what's expected, the rules as far as how they enroll. If you look on the back of your packet, I put a copy of that before you just to read over. But it just kind of explains the number of Tri-County classes they can take in a block, how they put those on their transcript, any restrictions there. So I did give you copies of our local policies along with this. And those are the only changes that we've had from the work that we've written in the past several years.
Now, we need to approve this, is that what you said? Do I have a motion to approve the Tri-County Community College Agreement? Do I have a second? Will you? Oh, no. You don't know. I don't think I said it, we have a second. Do we have a second? I think it's, yes, second.
And Mr. Chairman, you do need to call for the ayes and noes, even though.
Yeah, I didn't think I did. I was just, I had in my mind. Do I have a motion to approve? And you made the motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? Now. No. Oh, she had 2 signed here, so is that good? Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Knott, summer school, safe schools. All right, let's get the safe school in here.
You guys still with us? Yeah. Come on. Let's go.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, probably know which.
Oh, God.
You guys sit up there. That's fine. So, real quick, summer school went good. We didn't lose any kids. All kids were safe. I think they had some fun and, hopefully they learned something. So I think summer school went real well. So, safe schools, just to talk about that, we are now partnered with the Graham County Sheriff's Office, which will be in partnership for 1 year. And what this does, this allows our officers to have more jurisdiction. Before, they had no jurisdiction basically off our campus. So now they have jurisdiction all over Graham County, which is good because they may need to go get a kid from a house or something like that. So our SROs, I'll introduce them real quick and they can go on about their business. So at the high school and middle school, it's going to be Mike Cox. He's also going to help out with some sports and stuff. And Jacob Bridgers will be at elementary school. And hopefully it'll help out with some sports and stuff. So they're going to be really good and we're excited about that. So we went to SRO training for a few days in Cherokee and these guys probably already knew all that stuff, but I learned some stuff. So that was good. And that was a good thing that we did. And our contact person is going to be Cody George. So he late already. Y'all know Mr. George, and Brad, there's Brad, our sheriff. So we appreciate everything y'all will do for us this year.
Thank you for the partnership.
Absolutely. Look forward to working. Absolutely. So, You guys are good. Thank you, bye, guys.
Thank you, Ian.
Thank you. Appreciate it, guys. Yeah. We're excited. So another thing, safe school, we got a grant to work on the doors, unpainted doors at the high school and middle school. I see administrators, so they're working on that, so we're gonna have a little grace, you may have to walk around the side of the building to get in and stuff like that, but they're working on it, and, then working out the flaws, the keys, the SROs will still be in charge of that. I'm probably gonna learn the system too a little bit in case they're out, somebody needs to reprogram a badge or something like that. So we'll be in charge of that. So if there's no more questions, that's about it.
Thank you. Wow. Appreciate your time. Ms. Gibbs, budget amendments and updates along with Mr. Wood.
In your packets, which has been a copy of a couple of budget amendments. These were actually from the, end of the fiscal year we just completed, FY 25. At the June 26th meeting, you guys, already approved budget amendments, but we spoke about the fact that there were some other changes our auditors recommended, for 25 and Fund 8. So those were done at the same day after the meeting, and so today, we're asking for approval for those changes. The first two pages were votes for Fund 2. Where we were just moving money between purpose codes so that we're on over, by purpose code. The budgeted, expenditures, were changed, but the actual revenues and, that part wasn't changed. Then page 3 was Fund 8. And, again, we moved some money between purpose codes so that we were not over. And then the bottom section of Fund 8, the, 325,000. That is for expenses we moved out of Fund 2 and into Fund 8, because there really is no fund balance in Fund 2. And so that also helps us cover any payables that we had at the end of the year. So that was it. That was the final budget amendments for FY 25. And this will just, if you approve it, Mr. Nelson, you can just sign those 3 pages. Thank you.
$325,000 for electricity system-wide and water system-wide and revenue fund balance.
Yeah.
$30,000 for food and chickens. And Bob was talking about the budget, and we're still waiting for the dust to settle from the Department of Education, and of course the state has fully dropped their, past their bill yet, but it's many bills. But, we, again, how we do things is we only get certain money for certain things, and we go through federal, state money first. And then towards the end of the year, once that's run out, we have to get things like local, which is also small schools and the impact days. If we ever lose any of that, we'll look to her. That's a couple $1 million right there at least. We lost $600,000 from last year from general receipts, lost $100,000 from last year, $200,000 from impact days less than last year. And of course, we lost $300,000 from Lone Wells, which is total over $500,000. So in the past year, we have absorbed or let go, not let go, we absorbed 12 decisions to try to help compensate for all that, for the budget cuts that are coming. We won't know for sure again until next year when we have it all again and see how this plays out with the state and federal government. But even this year with all that, we still ended up going $200,000 to $300,000 into our fund balance. Which, long story short, if you have less than $1 million in fund balance, if we don't do something to adjust that, in 3 years we'll be out. Now, this land deal with the county does help. We'll use that and again, try to touch it and keep it in there, but we're trying to do the best we can to make the budget work without having to see anybody home. So over the next few years, we may be not replacing some things. We're going to do a lot. Elementary, she's very years, she got hit the worst. We've lost 2 coaching positions, a teacher assistant, and couple of behavior positions in the high school, lost a teacher, middle school lost office personnel. We're down one maintenance, due to that. So we're doing everything we can to preserve, protect the education of our kids, but also to keep everybody informed. So just to give you an idea of where we're at. We're fine this year, but we won't know really for sure how to proceed until next year's audit. I covered that pretty good. Okay, so don't forget questions about that. Like I said, that's the reason that I just wanted to, it's a little up there, I have to translate all the stuff. But, we're doing this.
You have a motion to approve the budget amendments as presented by Ms. Gibbs.
So,
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, thank you, Ms. Gibbs. And Mr. Moody. Ms. Williams, Director of Responsibility.
So this property asked me to make this available to you today. This is a document that you have seen previously.
Oh, yeah.
But with, change, that's one thing that we've determined is constant in life is change. So you have an updated list of city office staff members along with their responsibilities. Mr. Reedy, I think that we discussed this morning that we've had probably in the last year, somewhere to about 90 staff changes, whether it be from moves, whether it be from retirements, new hires. That's a significant amount of turnover. So this allows you to see from a central office perspective what our responsibilities are in each department.
Can I just add one thing? This one young lady is responsible for 15 things
does a fine job.
and does an outstanding job. And the rest of these people are responsible for at least 3 things. And some are responsible for quite a bit. 12 or 13. So I just wanted to add that. We appreciate all of
I feel like we all work very well as a central office team. I'm very, very proud to be a part of this team.
So in other words, we still sit here and twiddle our thumbs.
That's people we like, right? Yes, absolutely.
More so in the summer, you were at the start. That's what I didn't have. Now the states, they want proof of work and they want us to post all our jobs and salaries on our website. So that's man, like I got us to do. So.
Okay. All right, principals, student handbooks, we'll just start with, Ms. Carpenter. I started to say Brandon.
Okay, yes. These have been sent initially, but I also printed some of this.
Now, we have these already.
Yes. And I have just highlighted the main things that we have tweaked a little bit since last year. So the first thing that's highlighted in blue on page 1 is our mission statement for the elementary. And I did want to revamp this year because every morning when Penny starts our announcements, she says this mission statement, and the kids in the classroom after we do the pledge, they say the mission along with her. So before it was kind of wordy and hard for littles. So I'm trying to make it short, sweet, and to the point. I also wanted to incorporate our the RCE program that we have followed for the past 2 years. That is the Responsibility Centered Discipline, and you can read more about that on page 8. This will be year 3 that we have incorporated this classroom management type tool into our school. And so the main topics with that we go over with our students are respect, effort, and self-control. And that also stands for RES. So we have posters and that in every classroom and in the office. And so we just feel like if we can teach those 3 things for behavior and just for life, you know, that's going to set them up for success. So that is our mission statement. That is different. And then if you flip on through, if it's not highlighted, we did not change it other than updating some like the dates, or from Kevin's name to my name from last year. If you go over to page 9, we did add some things into our disciplinary measures, for our school. We thought it was important to add in there some behaviors that need to be addressed by classroom teachers first. Unless they're extreme to, point of an immediate office referral, but just some little minor type behaviors that teachers encounter in their classrooms, and then those become repetitive, and they reach out to us or write them up for office referral. So we did add that in there. Brent's worked hard on this. He's gonna be the main one, to cover all of the behavior things as far as the elementary school goes. And then, page 12, we updated our bus expectations, and offenses. So we have kind of, beat those up a little bit, so to speak, this year. We want all kids to behave appropriately and safely on the bus. We thought it was important to actually include the bus expectations and what our students expected to do on the bus, to abide by those rules and regulations for safety. And then we tweaked the school bus offenses just a little bit from last year. And then the next page, we updated our cell phone policy just a little bit. The policy itself has pretty much stayed the same in the elementary. Cell phones aren't really a problem. Like they don't, if they have them, they are in their backpack, turned off or silent. And they don't ever have them out at lunch or anything like that. So it's not a huge issue. But we did make some adjustments to the cell phone offenses. So anytime that a cell phone is seen or heard, it will be taken unless they have permission from the teacher for some extreme circumstance. It will be taken and the parent must pick the phone up at the school each time. Brent, do you want to add anything about any of those things for behaviors or budgets for the cell phones? Any questions about that? I think the only other thing that was actually updated and changed was, of course, the pesticide application schedule in the back.
Mr. Chairman, just briefly, small legislative note to that. I think the board asked me a meeting or two back, what could you do about cell phones? How far can you go with it? I think you all know in the meantime, the General Assembly now passed a bill that says by January 1st of 26, you got to have in place a policy that says during instructional time, they are not to be out in the tubes or not to possess them. By September, we've got to supply DPI with our policy. If you've got the model policy from School Board Association, and I haven't looked at yours yet, but I think you do, you're pretty close to what we're going to have anyway. The next step is really going to be, and I'm sure your principal were talking about it, how do you put it in practice? Because we've had policies forever that say don't have them out. It's just been, it's a difficult thing with police all the time. So that's just sort of coming to traction.
So our policy is not, since we did ride or whatever, it's no see or no hear from 7:30 to 3:30. And then that's to be consistent with all schools, which I should feel takes a requirement that the state, and that's responsibility back on the kids. As long as they don't see or hear them, no harm, no foul. But if they do that, then there's repercussions for every time they get it. We're not keeping cell phones like we used to all the time. If they get called 20 times, that cell phone get taken 20 times, the parents are going to be 20 times. And then, of course, there'll be discipline procedures to follow that. So that's going to be our policy system wide. Does that have to be submitted somewhere, or is it just?
Well, and we need to make sure what you've got in writing matches the policy you've got in practice, and that's got to be submitted by September 1st. Like I say, I think almost everybody's going to say, here's what we have, and it needs to be updated to make sure we're in compliance with this law. But that's not a problem because you really got until January 26th to have a fully compliant policy. So we'll.
Like some of it, we information on that. If you get anything, let me know. We'll allow.
Yes.
Anything else, Phil?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Nelson, I was just gonna remind y'all too that I do have handbooks for each one of the schools in the back of your folders.
Yeah, we got.
Just a reminder, in case you haven't found it.
Packet that I can pick up too.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with the cell phone policy. If there's kids that have medical issues that need to be in the cell phone.
There are required exceptions, and they are, one, a teacher can get permission if it's for an educational purpose or an emergency. Students that have IEPs or 504 plans might include the need to be able to use them. And of course, if it's in the plan, they use it according to the plan and not outside of it. And then the third one is that students might have I think that XCOM thing, for students that have diabetes, they gotta have it, so there are exceptions.
Mr. Nelson.
I'll be pretty quick. I didn't make copies, on the first couple pages, you'll see just the personnel updates. Ms. Malton is coming at a transition coordinator and assistant principal role next year. We'll have Mr. Burdette with us for the first half of the year as assistant principal intern. And then some other personnel things. Ms. Davis is coming over from elementary school to be our transition coordinator and so on. The highlighted, I highlighted the changes in there. The first one's on page 23. As everybody knows, the grading is an issue that we deal with a lot once you get to middle school and high school. So we kind of updated the mid-Missouri talk, and we kind of have a similar policy with it. We've always had class 3A in there, possession of tobacco and nicotine products. That hasn't changed, but we've added class 3B offense, which is specifically talks about the Delta products and the THC A or B or whatever, the legal THC products that you buy through gas station and vape shops. They are not considered by the district attorney and law enforcement as a scheduled substance, so they're a little different than having actual marijuana. So there's no charge that comes along with it, but this one, I put this in there, so this one from the school is the same as if it was marijuana. So that's the big change from before. It was a gray area in the handbook, because it did specifically call out those new things you got there the kids have. And education, not a lot, but you're kind of months will come across one. So we don't have specific writing about that. You see, it's a first offense if it's tested off, and the rest of us have kids when they can test and see, or it's just not labeled on the can that it has to be again. It's a 10-day suspension or cease-off. Second offense is long-term suspension, a long-term suspension with public counseling, and the third offense, the long-term suspension you can follow to 12 to 15 years. That matches our drug policies. The only difference is with the drug policy, it's a classified controlled substance, so they're getting the charge with it. This is not. The other one, I did the update our cell phone policy, like we just talked about, kind of matched it. It's no harm on its own, and we haven't put out the expenses for that. And then, of course, the back position. I did not have the copy of the spray, the pesticide and herbicide spray list. When I sent it to you, I do now. It's been got that out. The one, y'all have any questions?
So on Miss Sawyer,
So Mr. Brooks has worked really hard. So I'll let him present those.
sure volunteers do it there. 92 presidents.
Just a couple of things and wind changes in the handbook from previous years, and I think you've heard about these things from those bills going already on page 11 there. cell phone policy's been changed, where there's no signals here. Consequences are laid out there afterwards. So that's gonna be, that's one we train by high school. And a couple of different places is highlighted over on page 21 and 22. And that has to do with same thing Mr. Nell was talking about with the vapes. Especially get rid of the gray area there with the Delta 8, the THCA, that those will be treated as all the same thing. First offense is the 10-day suspension, and it goes from there. That's, those are really the only two major changes in the handbook. The pesticide schedule, what's the back, and that's very, that's all changes in the national handbook from last year. Any questions?
Do I have a motion to approve the school handbooks for elementary, middle, and high school? Do I have a second? All in favor? Any opposed? Mr. Hennig, you're on board policy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Back in June, I think the board has decided not to have a July issue. Actually, I think my email was I've already had. I supplied and I didn't get come to your June meeting. I supplied, and I think Charlene got to you a list of about 11 policies. And I think wisely held off until today to take any action on, especially without two members here. I don't think any of these are super urgent, so you can just take them as a first reading, so we get a second reading hopefully done at your next meeting. That will get us about halfway through the spring list, and so I'll have another batch for you that next meeting you do first reading on it to be done with the spring update in October, and that'll be just about the time to get the fall update. So these are fairly minor, I think. I'm happy to answer any questions you got about now or that you develop as we move along. But it's the first acknowledgement of a first reading. You don't need to take a vote on that. It's just a procedural thing for today. Any questions you got about it so far, and we'll try to keep the train rolling.
All right, Mr. Moody, you said we don't have to go into closed session.
Unless y'all have any questions or concerns about personnel or property.
Yeah, questions?
You need to get my finger signed copy.
Who said?
Me, and
What's paper? Sorry.
approval of the vendors for next year.
Do you have that with you right now?
No, I gave it to you.
I know he said told you to bring it and sign it, so,
You want me to go find one?
yeah.
So, real briefly, and I think I can do this in code and not need to go into closed session. Board members, I had one response on the thing we sent you, the evaluation form for, and where I got your emails that you had sent it. Since you were down to anyway, that's another thing we could just take.
Did you not get mine?
I think so. I don't see it when they come through my paralegal, Alex, and get them compiled. So I'm sure.
I did send it.
We'll check back in and make sure we've got them all before the September meeting.
Okay.
Finish things up.
So now I'm out of sequence. What do I do now? Hey, I'm programmed.
You slowly show this or so.
It's already. If I wait till for my everybody, 9:30. Like lunch, if y'all want to stay, I don't know what tomorrow, but.
Have floors. Yeah, so it's right. Everybody on the school board gets to sign.
Not just you.
Just me?
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh, all right.
Yes, sir. So, Mr. Chairman, I think according to Hoyle, way to do this is an amendment to the agenda that adds this to it, and then you can take it up and talk about it. So,
Okay.
I think I see Mr. Carey, you're about to make that motion.
Motion. Do I have a second? All in favor? All right. I would like to request approval of the following vendors for the upcoming 25-26 school year. U.S. Foods, Foods Class, Coke, beverages. I didn't think they could have Coke.
And that's the they died. It's more sad.
Mayfield for milk, Performance Foods, produce, and Hoods Unlimited, hood cleaning and fire suppression inspection. Thank you, Ms. Moody, Child Nutrition Director. Do I have a motion to approve this? So moved. Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? All right. You. Thank you. All right. Announcements, Mr. Moody.
Stay for the third lunch. I know one thing we got to plan last year was tour of school. Yeah. He pushed it off, so I went and thought we would get to September. The kids will be in school for a few weeks, so we sort of settled in, and after the board meeting, we set, tour of school, and all the principals. Got some on that, so we would show you all that. All right, y'all.
In the next meeting,
September
2nd. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor? And no letters, public stay here.